castings, Python string, Python operators, Python list, Python tuples, Python dictionary, then Python sets and Python decision making, and further many more we'll be learning about. So today in the first class, we'll understand what is Python, how it is important, right? So to understand very well, it's a language. Actually, need to say it as a Python as a interpreter software language, which can interpret itself on its own and it will exhibit the results. So we say it as a very easy language to learn and it is very much powerful. Okay. It is very easy to learn, and there are two softwares, I mean two primary factors which is included. Like you can have a very good quality of learning using Python when I compare to Java or any C. It takes more of time because the coding includes long time to process, whereas in Python it is not so. Very quick coding takes place and it delivers the results on the same display, right? So that is the importance or the significance of Python, and it develops its own productivity, and it is commonly used in variety of domains. Like, see, the application is very easy. The application of it is very easy. Why it is? Because it is included, it is used everywhere. Python is in used everywhere. For example, here I can say it as in web programming, right? Web programming is nothing but you have to design any website, a program is required. So I go for a programming, writing a code, I can very directly use Python. Then internet scripting, then database numeric, I have to create database, so I used to use a language for it. Python is a language. Scientific programming, gaming, so all these applications can be done using Python. So the major technical strength of this language is it is very much readable. Just like what you read it as a English, it is very easily you can read it and exhibit. So we call it as subject oriented. It is called as object oriented programming. We call it as this Python as OOP because it is object oriented programming, because it is having that easy, compact and executable manner. It can be learned and it can be understood very easily as a language. Simple language is the simplest language. Why? Because again I am telling, when we start coding, the results will be executed there itself in no time. In no time it will be executed. So that is the re reason why we say it as it is a Python is a compact and easy learning language. And moreover, it can be easily executed is a one thing, and it can be shipped. Like Python codes can be shipped or placed in the web more securely, as it involves Python virtual machine and bytecode complication compilation, which is platform independent. So these are the two major Python virtual machine and bytecode compilation is the two major independent platform independent, where it can be the codes can be shipped and the placement of the webs takes place. So that is why we call it as a Python training as a dynamically typed language. So very easy to operate. That is the reason behind what we talk about. Python can communicate to other parts of the application also. Like I was telling before, it is not like you find this C language or C++ or any other Java, any other language you come across. It is not like that you learn here. It is very easy. Why it is easy? Because of its uh, compactness and the integration it includes, right? It once you start writing the codes, you understand how the results are executed, and in 2 3 lines you can execute the codes. The execution of the program will takes place. Okay. And we say that Python is everything is a subject. Every operation seems to be very easy. other than scripting languages. That is what I was telling, that it can be easily executable. And Python cores are equal to 1/3 and 1/5 of the C or C++ Java programs in order to keep up the number of lines. And very important is it has powerful memory management to reuse garbage collections. Nothing but the database, the memory of it is very unique. The Python has a very unique memory database storage, because once you define a variable at every point of the code throughout the writing of the code, you can always keep up the memory and regenerate. So that is a unique property of the Python. And Python supports different types of data types. Like I was telling, that when you start typing a Python language, how do you start? Do you write in English like I'm so and so, what you are, and all that? No, it requires some data type of data, what type of data you have to type right in the program. So it all depends upon like string, tuples, list, dictionary. These are the different types of data types available for us to store the data and to perform operation. Okay, so very important, students, you have to keep in mind is it has different data types. The major one is string. String is nothing but we call it as a text. Like I say world is a, I understand in English it is a text, but in language of Python we understand it as a string. String. And tuple is nothing but when you have collection of some fruits. For example, if I take some fruits like collection, apple, banana, mango, and all that, I call it as the items. So these items has to be collectively stored as a variable, right? In some variable it has to be stored, these items. So I store it in dictionary, in list also, right? So tuples also. There are so many types of data which is available for us to store. And it has common methods and operations are there. What are the operations? They are very common and very easy going operations takes place. Okay, what type of operations we see here? Like you find addition, multiplication, division, and all that you find here. But you have some different characters to use when you want to operate. You have to go for different types of characters to be used for the operations to perform, right? And very differently you have a Python is, and not today, it is over decades. Since 1991 we have started using this Python, and it was created by uh, what one scientist called as Guido van Rossum. And it is started with web development, software development, mathematics, script writing. So this is a brief history about Python and the popular programming language, and it was created in 1991 by Ronson, and started used for web development, software development, mathematics, script writing. So all this was started with the learning of Python during the year 1991. So this was the history, and this is the significance of why it is important to know what is Python and how it is important when it is compared with the other languages. Okay, students, did you follow? Yes?
Yeah, yes, we did.
Yes or no? Please be
Yeah,
loud.
I just have
Yes,
one
yes.
quick question.
Haha.
So I'm just trying to understand, like, how is it in terms of popularity versus other? Sorry, I just joined late, so I might have some questions. So helpful if you can answer it now, or we can take it offline, no problem. So I
Yes,
just
yes.
want to understand, like, so you're saying that this has already overtaken R and Java, or those are still a mandatory language if I have to step into a coding world? Sorry, is anyone around?
Yeah, please tell me. I'm waiting.
So I just asked the question, has this already overtaken other languages, or is it still mandatory to have other languages while you're doing the coding?
Yeah, you require to know one because there are many languages available. If you start learning one language, and you can switch on to the other language equally because you are abreast with the learning and the coding of languages. So one language will teach you a better basement or the platform for you to learn with other languages. It is quick and fast learning with the Python when you compare to any other languages.
Okay, but Python has started to lead, started to already overtake other languages, right?
No, overtake it is not like overtake. The application
Okay,
varies. The
okay,
application varies. See, if I want to start, I have a problem with me. I want to solve a problem here. Which type of coding I may go with? Whether it is
okay,
Java or whether it is Python, I have to decide. The scientist or the
okay,
research has to take up and decide. Like I'll go with the Java, I'll go with the C, or I'll go with the Python, whichever is comfortable with you.
okay,
But
clear.
the uniqueness of Python is the coding is very simple and very easy. And it is not that always I say it is easy, money, it is not easy always. It depends upon the
Okay,
problem what you have. Like you have a problem where you have to include Java, but number of variables varies,
okay,
right?
clear.
The variable varies. So therefore, when the number of variable varies, as a variable increases. Now, if I say what is variable, if I say that if I have a question as a is equal to x, then I have again a question as b is equal to y. So how do I define that? So I should code for every variables.
Okay,
So that I can get the output for the x value or what y value, whatever I define it. So your problem or the coding or the requirement of which language I should choose, it all depends upon the individual and the availability facility available with you. If you are owning a company and I mean you are working anywhere and you are owning a company where the software is there available with you as a uh, Python, you have to start with Python. No, Papa, my company doesn't have that. I have to go with Java. Fine, it is available. So, but my passion is going with the Python because I feel very comfortable doing using Python.
okay,
It takes very
okay.
less time, but yeah, it all depends upon the type of problem.
Okay,
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 fine.
clear. So now just a quick question. I just don't want to hijack your time, but I just want to understand. Now, if I have to get into AMC, like I'm sure you would have heard about Amazon Marketing Cloud. So I'm
Huh,
kind of
huh,
closely working with Amazon Marketing Cloud, but I'm
huh.
not doing the coding. I'm doing the inside sides of it. So if I have to start getting into the coding, write the script, they already have some kind of scripts available, but will Java be useful for that particular platform?
Yes, AMC, like if you want to start coding, for AMC, you can always go with a Java or Python. See, it's only the type of language you pick up.
Okay,
Even the same performance, the same thing will be functionable by Java or Python. It is not like
okay,
mandatory. I have to tell you, if I am a teacher in the class and I ask, since I'm a Python instructor, I'll tell you, you go with Python.
okay,
But it is
okay.
not so at your place. Maybe when you are having different variations of, you can jump over one language to other language. So if you
Okay.
master in Python to execute the AMC, you can do it as well.
Okay.
And you can check the execution with the results and the output, whatever you get, right? AMC
Okay.
with the AMC, correct?
Yeah, I
You are
can check
getting,
this. Yeah, just that I need to create the instances, which I'm not being a part of it at the moment, but I want to start. So my whole objective is to start being a part of AMC queries. So like start writing the queries.
mm,
Um, yeah, so that is my whole objective. At the moment, I have the queries, I'm getting the output using the Tableau. All I do is read the software, so like read the insights, and then analyze the problem using those insights and find a solution again using those insights. But I want to completely move away from this part of my job to get into like proper coding. Like I want to get into, I don't want to be client facing. So AMC is what I'm looking forward for because I'm closely connected with AMC at the moment. And I feel that is
Oh,
what is gaining popularity offshore.
yeah. Sure. Got it.
Okay,
Okay, fine. Yeah,
lovely.
I'll
Thank
continue.
you.
Yeah, thank you. Bye-bye. I will please, I will continue. Okay. Okay, that was a very good question by our student. Okay, I would like to entertain with other students also to come up with any query so we can solve within the class hours. So we'll not keep it paused for a long time. Now further coming with the content of why Python. Why Python? Why the popularity is gained by the Python? So we were talking about the history. Now why it is Python, and I think this answer would also meet the query raised by our student. So it's like in Python you can immediately import the models. One thing is you can import the models. Will be executing this importing module when once you take up the subject, the title, and under the Python. It's like you want new modules can be added to the Python for its extension to get programmable interference or interface application can be embedded with the Python. These are the few benefits or the multiple benefits. I can rather say multiple, not few, multiple benefits when I take up the Python. And it is you have ideally integrated development and learning environment. That is ideally for Python what we use to execute the programs. IDLE. IDLE is nothing but integrated development and learning environment. And to get programmable interface applications can be embedded with Python. A lot of operating systems can be included. So there are many advantages what we see in case of Python. So that is how we go with the Python. And coming to the syntax, what is syntax? I was just telling in English we have a grammar. Similarly, in Python we have syntax, right? So syntax of Python language is a set of rules that define how a Python program will be written and interpreted in a runtime. Interpreted meaning it will analyze the program. Interpreted is a common word which we use in Python, right? Only in Python we use this interpreted because it will quickly run the code and analyze on itself and execute the results. That is the advantage of Python, but it is not so in any other languages. So it will execute its own program. So something like that you have, for example, I'll run that screen here. One second. I want to show one program which is showing that it is interpreted and how it is getting the results. Interpreted means it is getting the results. Why Python? Yeah, you can see here. Yeah, syntax. There's a small example, right? I'm defining a variable. X is a variable
Lata,
which is equal to 1.
sorry to disturb. I'm not able to view your screen. Could you please?
Is it?
Are you sharing it? Hello?
Hello, yeah, I'll check 1 second. Now it's fine.
Yeah, but it is in the minimized view.
And now it's fine.
Yes, that's right.
Okay. Now we are talking about Python syntax. So if I say what is the syntax, it is nothing but it's a set of rules that defining how Python program will be written and executed or interpreted. So how it is being done, if I take an example as x is equal to 1. And if I say x is, I'm putting a condition if x is less than 0.1, print the proper identification is important. So something like this I'm asking. So this is first 3 symbols indicates a prompt. You're putting in an interactive cell. This prompt exists only in an interactive shell. Whereas if I am using a Jupyter, this prompt will not be available. In Anaconda or a Jupyter, I don't see this prompt available. Or program is also, it is not available. If I use interactive cell as a x is equal to 1, and if I put a condition x is less than 0.1, see it's a function and I'm using a colon, and the print, I'm asking for the print that the proper identification is important. So in this small example, I'll not go in depth of the example as it is just in starting of the class. So I'm just highlighting in the above example, the value 1 is assigned to x, and if the condition used in the above example, in the if condition, the proper identification is important in this, otherwise it will show an indent error. Right? There's a indentation being required. Right? So after colon, what happens? After colon, this is a function. This is the function statement because I'm putting a if. So after colon, I should put an indentation for the print. Then it will be executed, right? And if there is anything wrong there, it will give an error as indentation error immediately. It will not take any much lag also. So you find that even if it is correct, it will give a printable output. If it is wrong, it will give some error. So that is interpretation taking place within the Python. This is a small example showcasing the syntax used and how the printing takes place, the output takes place. Now coming to the Python variable, right? The variable, so in the previous example, x is a variable. X is equal to 1. So it's a variable. It is not necessary that I define only one variable in throughout the Python problem. Every frequently as and how required, I can run the or introduce number of variables. How it is possible? That is the uniqueness of Python. The Python can have n number of variables. And like suppose a Python variable is reserved memory, and it is only a small temporary memory. Reserved memory is nothing but temporary. Once the variable execution is over, it will get dissolved. Okay, and every value in Python has data type. Like data type, you remember, you should always remember what is a data type. It is a number, list, tuple, strings, dictionary, etc. These are the different types of data type. Data type means, but in what way I'm writing. Whether I'm using a number, no, Baba, I'm not using a number. I'm using a list. List means it's within the parenthesis. You find number of items, and tuples. Again, it is a form of a list, but it is a tuple or strings. dictionary. So such types of Python variables or the Python data types are used. For example, if I take an example as x is equal to 10, I am defining x as variable. Again, I am explaining using y is equal to x plus 5. Correct? X plus 5. So what is this x plus 5 doing? What is this y is equal to? Again, I'm defining one more variable. So I can keep on introducing number of variables. So this is what the uniqueness of Python variable, which is not there in any other coding languages. So here the value 10 is named as a x variable. If we call for the x value is uses 10. Okay, if I print x, then it will print as 10. And it stores the value as x plus 5. And if I say as y, it will print it as 15 because I'm defining y in terms of x. So whatever the value of x I have given, 10 plus 5, it will be executed. So that is a Python variable. Coming to Python casting. What is casting? It's a process. Python casting is nothing but it's a process to convert one type to another type, and it is done with functions such as integers or floats or a string. Nothing but Python casting. It's very easy. Python casting is, for example, I take a movie. Some hero will cast one thing and the heroine will cast one thing, like the role played by it. So here also Python casting is there available, wherein it can be converted from one type to another type. So it is done by using the functions like integer, float, or string. Integer abbreviation is int. Float abbreviation is float. String abbreviation is str. So what is this integer? Int. Integer, it's a whole number, right? It's a whole number as 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or -1, -2, -3, -4. All those are integers. Whereas float is nothing but it's with decimal 1.234, 1.236, whatever it is, it's a float. And whereas a string is nothing but it's a text. It's a text command. Text any giving as a Python is a string. I'm giving a name for it. And these are the syntax, how to write a string integer, how to write a float. This is the keywords what we use to write the steps or the quotes. Int, float. If I ask you write an integer, you should be using this. You should be using float. You should be using what is a string. So let us understand with a small example. I'll define a small example variable. So what is a symbol? You remember me telling what is a symbol here? This is a prompt. Interactive Cell will have a prompt, right? Any other compiler, if you are not using Windows to run the program, you find these prompts sometimes you don't exist, right? So if I say that x is equal to 10, so type as x. What is type x? It will execute as integer. It is defining what type of data type it is. Okay. And what is the string x? See, this is what the answer I get. What is the type x? I'm asking what type of x is. X is what? Integer. X is equal to 10. I'm asking the Python. What is type of it? Type x is what? Type x is what? It is giving us integer. See the quotes. Within the quotes, it's an integer. Okay. If I say string x, what is string x? So it is 10. How it is different? You may ask, what is this and what is that? You may ask. String. Keep in mind, always the string has to be defined within the quotes, within the single quotes. See, you find the quotes there, apostrophe 10 apostrophe. So which is indicating the starting of the string and ending of the string. If I say float x, x I have already defined. What is x I have defined? 10. Okay. I am asking what is float of x. So it will give me 10.0. So that is the Python casting. So that is how it is being defined, as you can convert the integer into string, you can convert string into float or float into integer. That is a casting. That is the meaning of what is casting. So that will help us to convert any type of data into any other form of any other data type. That is the property of Python casting, right? Now coming to the Python string. Python string is, what is the meaning of Python string? Here it is. A string is traditionally a sequence of character either with a literal constant or some kind of variable. String literals in Python are surrounded by single quotation, marked or double quotation. Python are arrays of bytes representing Unicode or character. It's nothing but a string is nothing but, that is what I said, Python string. I say Python text. Any word, whatever the word you define, you call it in Python as a string, right? It is called as a string. Any word, butterfly is a string. It's a text. It's a word. In English, we say it is a word, right? So, but in language of Python, we say it as string. Okay, I'll take up a small example, right? Illustrating about this thing. Print, it is a string. Print, it is a string. I'm just asking, directly I'm asking, no, nothing. Anything you ask for print statement. Anything with the keyword as print, you ask to print, it will print. Okay, it will definitely print. You can just try this at home, doing this small example. Open a Python compiler in your laptop or desktop and start typing print. It is a string. It will start typing as it is a string. Suppose if I say x is equal to, and you keep in mind that it is in double quotes, which is defining as a string. It is defining as a string. Okay. X is equal to, it is a string. Y is equal to 12. So these are all the strings which are being defined in the single quote, double quote. All these are the strings. Whenever in the code, you please keep in mind, whenever in the code, when you find the two strings existing, you should understand, you should catch. Yes, Baba, it's a string. I should be very careful. That type of data is a string. It is nothing else. It will take the thing content as it is. It will not change. If I say your name and my name and put it in, it's already in quotes. We cannot change our name and your name, right? So something like string also, whatever we define in terms of string, it will retain the same. Okay, that is all about the strings. Coming to Python operators, like I was telling initially, what is operator? Like once we give some strings, it should be operated, right? Any data type we give, it can be integer, it can be float, or it can be say two numbers I'll give, integers. Okay, you may ask what operation I should do, what should be done with that operations. I'll say multiply, I'll say divide, I'll say add. So all this I know and you know in mathematics. How do we do? We do very well in using arithmetic equations. We do very well. Madam said 8 plus 8. Okay, we'll get 16. Madam said 8 minus 8, we'll get 0. 8 divided by 8, we'll get 1. 8, whatever it is. Many operations we perform in mathematics just manually. But how does this language Python will understand? Arey Baba, I have to do some operation. I should write a code. My manager, my boss is asking, Arey, calculate the salary. This is the total return of our company. I should give a bonus to all of you. So divide by all the employee numbers. How do I do? I should use an Python operator. I cannot take a small calculator and calculating, right? Am I correct? You cannot do it. It's a long process, but Python will do it very quickly. How does that do? It will do some operators. Operators are available with us. right? Like what is arithmetic operators we have, comparison operators we have assignment operators. How beautiful operators we have, logical operators, bitwise operators, membership operators, and identity operators. These are the different types of operators available with us. Wonderful. This is the uniqueness of Python. Very nicely we can use this, just like you write in your book the operation a plus b is equal to c. Like that we can do it. Only thing, the characters should be very well defined in the keyboard. You should know what is the character to be used. So there are how many totally? There are totally 7 different types of operators, like arithmetic operator, comparison operator, assignment operator, logical operators, bitwise operators, membership operators, and identity operator. And there's some small example. As I was telling here, a comma b is equal to 4 comma 2. C is equal to a plus b. Now you should answer me now in the class. Very nicely, this question is being framed by us. I'm defining AB. AB is what, students? They are variables. Okay. A comma B are 2 variables. A value is 4. Okay. B value is 2. I'm defining one more variable, C. C is equal to A plus B. Then what is the value of C?
6.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I'm already defining what is A as 4, B as 2, and defining C as, what do you get? The operation performed between A and B is, it is A plus B. And the addition performance is being done. Now, similarly, I'll take up the small one more example. If I say D is equal to A minus B, what's the answer you get?
2.
2. Correct. It's a small operation which is being performed. So I'm defining a variable, but keep in mind, students, you have to define a variable and define that as A minus B and asking for what is D. So immediately it will give the answer as 2. Suppose if I say E is equal to A into asterisk, you understand, right? A into B. So I should ask, what is E?
8.
What is E? Answer.
8. 8.
What is the answer of 8?
8.
It is 8. That is 4 into 2. You'll get it as 8.
8.
And if I say f is equal to a by b, what is that value of f I'll get?
2.
A value is 4, b value is 2. I should divide. Simply I should divide and I'll get it as 2. So this is how the performing operations between the variables and getting the values of it. Okay, student, any doubt till here? Any doubt? Any query?
I
Okay.
just need to know one quick thing, not related to the operations or syntax, but it's more towards how do I get the Python compiler where I need to code it. So that's kind of a basic thing.
Yeah.
Because, yeah.
The Python compiler, when you want to operate, you have to download Anaconda.
Okay, is it something like you will be sharing or it's a free download available?
No, free download. You
it's
can
free
just type it as Anaconda distribution. Then you find it will ask for the downloading. You can download and you can pip pipe.pip. If you give a command, it will start with a Jupyter. You can use a Jupyter. Or if you have a browser, on browser, you can go with a Programmers.
Okay.
Programmers was the one more compiler.
Programmers. Do you have some laid out steps or guides for this one, like download Anaconda slash?
I really recommend you at first to start with Programmers. Without downloading, you can work on the browser. You can start with the browser and work on with the program directly. Because at little later stages, we'll learn Anaconda downloading and then installing the Jupyter. Right? Because you have to get familiar with this programmers. In that programmers, you can start typing all the programs and you can see the execution without any prompt. You need not put any prompt. And also you have Colab. There's one more compiler as Colab. COLAB, Colab.
PROGRAMMIS is programmers. Or
Z,
how do you?
Z, PRO,
Yeah,
GRA,
yeah.
MMIZ.
Okay. Or
Huh.
collab.
Colab.
Oh,
COLAB, Colab.
okay, cool. Thanks.
Huh. In Colab, it is like very direct. You can start doing on it. Just like what you find here.
Okay,
As
when
it
you
is, you
say
can
don't
start.
have to put the prompts, sorry, could you please clarify that? I'm really sorry because I'm very, very, very new to this side of the thing. So I just want to know, like, when you say you don't have to prompt anything, what does that indicate?
Like no, some window Pythons when I'm using normal window Pythons on my desktop. Okay,
Oh,
there's a window Pythons. Windows I'll be
okay.
using. In that, no, I have to use prompts.
Not Python.
So I have to use there now. Now the advanced when we started earlier, we were using this prompts and all. Now we have latest compilers available. Without prompts, it works. It works
Okay.
without prompts. So you need not
Okay.
worry. It will automatically take at some. You have to just check with the compiler. And remember, some compilers will support the programs to execute. Some compilers may not also. So don't worry. Your coding is correct only. Whatever the code you have written, it will be correct. But some compilers will not support. So a majority I've seen Colab not supporting much of it. Programmers does that. Do
You mean the
support.
Python itself? Colab doesn't
Yes,
support
yes.
Python.
Some operations, some coding doesn't take. It will not be understood by Colab.
Okay.
So it keeps an error. Though you find all being written, all being typed correctly, it will not
Okay.
execute.
Okay,
So it
then
will keep
what?
error.
Then
Programmers
why?
is much better.
Okay, I
Program.
understand. Then why is there a recommendation for using Colab for Python when it doesn't
Just
recognize it?
yeah, because when you're going with the simple problems, you as a
Okay.
learner, as a beginner, you can start with Colab. Then you can switch on to programmers. Then you can switch on to Anaconda.
And
That is the
okay.
level of what I suggest, advise students to learn with.
Okay.
You can do it on your mobile also. The Colab.
Okay.
Huh.
Okay. Perfect. Clear.
Yes.
Lovely.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Hello.
Yeah, nothing. I just said thank you.
Okay, fine.
Sorry.
Thank you. Okay, let us continue. That was a good interaction with our student. So we'll start learning more about Python list. So what is a Python list? List, always you remember list, how do we represent? Like you have a list of students, you have a list of books. List, always you name 1, 2, 3 and all that, isn't it? When I say list, ordinary English list, I say list of books, list of students, list of numbers, list of books. And oh, many lists are there. I'm not getting here on except students and books. Huh? Okay, there are many lists available. So when we talk about this list, I want this list to incorporate in Python. What I should do, how the Python will understand the list. I should write a keyword. I should write a syntax for it. Array Python, you should understand I'm writing a list. But how the Python will understand it that I'm writing a list for it? So you have to give a proper syntax for it. You have to give a proper syntax to it. How do I give? How do I give the syntax for it?
By putting on the list.
Yes, I have to write it as a list in the form of a brackets. Please see here, you have defined one variable, for example, any variable. You need not worry about particular variable. Any variable you can define it as A, X, Z, anything, or by your own name. And I'm not, but as of now, I'm not worried about all that contents, other thing. I'm worried about this content. Please look here. I have defined a list here, right? Irritable I have defined, right? This is a small common example what I have taken. What is this? Each list is denoted as or told as or represented as items. How many items are there within the brackets? Can you count and tell me?
8.
8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Correct. You are absolutely correct. So there are 8 list items. This is a list. How do I say it is a list? Because it is big brackets, square brackets. We mention it as a square brackets. And how many items are there? 8 items. How do I separate the items? By comma, by comma. See, each is being separated by comma. Correct? And now you tell me, please. Now, what type of data type is this? ITERABLE. What type of data type it is?
String. No.
Correct. Very good. It's a string. How do I identify it as a string?
Quotes.
Yes, given a quote. There is an opening code and closing code telling that it is a string. Okay. So we have the list with the 8 items in the list and all are strings. You may ask, can I have only strings or can I have a mixed with float and with the integer? Yes, of course. You can have the list defined with different data types. Different data types. That is the uniqueness of having this list. So how do I incorporate? How do I write the list? So I can put some variable and variable is equal to list. I say list, that's it. This is how it appears. This is how it will appear in the next line. So what is this actually? What is this hash represents? It's a comment line. And say comment, I'm commenting. This line will not be read by the code. This line will not be read by the code. When I'm representing any line with a hash, hash indicates that array code don't read this line. It is only for my understanding why I am written here. I am telling hash. Hash is a syntax what I use to for my only understanding. For my only understanding, because today I open the program and execute the program. Today I save it and close it, but tomorrow after 1 week or 2 weeks when I open, I should understand. So for my understanding I would have written something. Anything for your written understanding, I can use hash. I can use hash in this type of coding. Got it?
I have one quick question. Is
Yeah,
it
please.
always represented in the square brackets, or you use any kind of brackets? Like
No,
like,
yes, a very good question. It is always represented, because list, when you are defining the list, it has to be represented by the square bracket.
okay.
1 second. Some technical issues. Please bear with me. Now the screen is visible, students?
Yeah, screen is visible, but your voice is echoing, I think.
Okay. Okay, screen is visible. Now I'll share the PDF copy.
But your voice is still echoing, sorry.
Yeah. Am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible.
And screen is visible, right?
Screen is also visible, yeah.
Okay. Now we understand with the Python list. What is a Python list? And it's nothing but you are putting every collection of a number or string or anything what you would like to put into a form, into a group it. So how do you do it? It is using by list. So keep in mind, students, the syntax to be used for the list is the square bracket. Now we come across like we have the list defined so and so in the form of a string. I say this string is not sufficient. I mean, these items are not enough to complete my work. I want to add on this, or I want to delete few, or I want to insert, right? So what can be done? What is the keyword or the syntax what I'll be using for it? So there are specifically, you have adding elements into a list object. Adding elements into a list object. So which we call it as append and insert. We call it as a append and insert. So what is this append and insert? It's a keyword which is being used to add to the list. So what is the key class? Hello?
Sorry,
What
we
is the
just lost you for a brief, for a minute. Could you just repeat? Could you just repeat what you said earlier, please?
Yeah. Yes. So now my list, I can improve the list items. I can improve that. Instead of ITERABLE, I want to add few more, because my list is growing huge, right? So I want to add, I want to insert, right? The list items are increasing. How do I increase? I should tell Python, Array Baba, you just increase the list items. How does it understand? I should give a syntax to it. What is the syntax I should give? I should give append and insert. I can give append. What is this append will do? Append will add. This is append. It will add, right? To the end of the last list item. It will add. What is the last of this list item?
E.
E. E is the list. After E, it will add the next list item, whatever you are asking to add. Now, insert. Insert, what you may ask, both are same, append and insert. Both are no, they are different. How they are different? When I'm asking them to insert, and I'm asking them to insert, it will ask for a specific place where I should insert this list item. Where I should insert this list item. So how should I write the syntax for this? The syntax should be written in this way, telling that append object, it's a variable. It's a variable, right? It's a variable, like object is equal to list, whatever I have defined here, like that. If I say append object dot append value, what is the value should be given? What value should be given? It will automatically execute. Now, if I say insert, object dot insert is a keyword to be used. Insert. And index, index is what? It is the place where I should add this item. See the difference between the append and in the insert, right? Object, append, value. Here, object, insert, index value. Index is telling where the number is, at what place I should add. For example, I'll take a small example. Now you can see here in the first code line, I see, you can see there is an integer, 1, 2 is an integer, apple is a string, baby is a string, correct? It's correct?
Yeah.
Yes. Now I say print A. When I say print A, it will automatically print whatever it is existing here. So whatever was existing as A as a variable, I'm asking print A. It will execute. So it will link. Now, A is a variable. Append value. Value as an integer. Sorry, string I'm giving. It is with the quotes. Correct? It is with the quotes. So now I'll ask for print A. So how it will quote? Give the answer 1, 2, apple, baby, value. See the value where it has come? It has come after the last list item. Correct? That is the difference of append. Or it will not disturb any other list items. It will only calmly, peacefully, very silently, it will go add itself to the last list item. Right? Now, similarly, if I say append data, print A. So in A is a variable, what I have defined. In this, you append, you add. What to add? Data. So when I ask for print A, it will say 1, 2, apple, baby. After value, silently it has gone and fixed itself into data. Very calmly and peacefully it has gone and set that data. Okay. Now, coming to insert. What is this difference? This insert. I say A, insert 1, comma text. 1 is what? Index number. I am giving one index number to all the item list. Something like we know, give serial numbers like Your name, my name, 1. Anita, 2. Saroja, 3. Like that. Serial numbers. We give index number in numbering, indexing. So now this is A, right? List of A. So here, keep in mind, students, 1 will take an index of 0 here. Very, very, very important. It will take 0, first index number. Second index number is what? 2.
Next. 2.
Then third index is what? Apple.
Apple.
Then what is the next? Fourth one. It is baby, right? Now I'm asking A insert 1 text. Where I should go? At the place of 1. Where was 1? After 0, there is 1 index number. So 2 will move. It will move. It's from its place. So 0, 1. Text comes in the 1 place index. That is, see the beautiness of the list. Correct, no? Very nice. Neatly it has come and incorporated itself into the list as an item. It will disturb others, this insert, whereas append will not disturb. Silently it will go and fix itself to the last item. So that is how the insert and append will come into picture. Where you will come across such properties and all that. For example, in our company, there are number of employees. New employee will join. Though sometimes we arrange it, we give them different ID numbers and all, employee ID numbers, and we arrange it in a form of a list. Sometimes like your birthday, your alphabetical order also comes into picture. So what we do, the newcomer, his name starts with B. So I should insert somewhere at B. So what I'll do, I'll not disturb anybody. I'll give the insert with that index number and just it will switch over there. It will calmly and please go insert. Array, my place is there. Hato. Move to one side. My place is here. So this is how it plays a major role. Right? Though my examples are very, very simple, but application level of Python is very huge. It plays a master role everywhere. Okay. For further, we have some more examples to do. If I say a dot insert 100 last, what is this 100 last? Print a, what is this 100? 100 is, we have 100 index. Do we have the index number of 100? We don't have. Correct? No, we don't have. So what it will do? Just it will go fix in the last. It will go fix in the end. That is what it is going to do. So it will not disturb when this index number doesn't exist. 100 index number is existing. It's not existing. What it will do? It will go fix itself to the last. Okay. It will go fix itself to the last. So this is how it goes with the index, listing, appending and inserting. So any doubt here? Any doubt here, students?
No, all clear so far for me.
Okay, fine. Good. Now, coming to the next, assessing any value from a list object. So how do I assess? Okay, assessing. How do I assess? So as I said, assessing is nothing but how do you assess any list object, list item? How do you identify? By their serial numbers or by their index numbers, as I said. So when we go for 0, 1, 2, 3, we call it as forward index. Right? We call it as a forward index. Forward indexing starts from 0 to positive numbers. But when you go for a reverse indexing, what happens? It starts from -1. Very, very important. It starts from -1. Right? It's not doesn't start from 0. It starts from -1. I think I have an example here. Yes, we'll have an example here to understand. Yes, I have an example here. Now, if I say that print A, again I'll go with the same example, print A. So it will print 1, 2, whatever we had earlier. Further, I'll ask print A within those big brackets 0. In the place of 0, 0 is what? Please understand the syntax here, what I'm using. When I'm using big bracket, it is indicating the index number. It is indicating index number. See students, understand. I am asking to print in within A, what is the 0 index number? 0 index number is 1. So your answer is 1. If I'm asking print A 5, what is 5 here? 5 index number is what? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 is the value. 5 is the value. So with the codes only it will print. See, whatever the item you have defined within the list, it will print the same way. It will not go with any changes. Now, for example, 0 index number 0, 0, 5 and all, it is a forward indexing because it is having positive integer. Now you see here print A -1. -1 means what? It is backward indexing. -1 should tell me, Ore Baba, it is going in the backward direction. So -1 is illustrating to this last item. -1, then -2, then -3, then -4, then -5, then -6, -7, -8, and so on. Okay. So now I'm asking -1. -1 money, it will print as last. What is the last item in -1 place? -3. 1, 2, 3. It will print value. It will print as value. We can also use loop to access each values from a list. Loop. What is loop? Loop is nothing but slicing, or you use only you can use slicing, or you can tell that colon, you can range. It's nothing but it's a type of range, right? For example, we can loop. Loop money is nothing but you're telling a range. It's you're just giving. I want serial number 1 to 5. I want serial number 5 to 6. I want serial number like that. I want index number from 1 to 3, so on. So we can also use loop to access the each value from the list, each value from the each items. For example, I'll say print A. Okay, Baba, I'll print whatever you have defined as A. I started printing. Now I'm using loop. So I should use loop. What should be done? For I in A, I in A. I means for I. For range of I, I'm calling a range. This is indicating range. I in A, print end. Print I end equals. So 1 text 2 apple baby value data last. So what is this? Print end. What is it doing? 1 text 2 apple baby value data last. What it is doing? Can you tell me what it is doing?
It's framing a sentence, I think.
It's just reading out all, removing all the commas, all the strings. It is just reading the items as it is without any quotes. As you said, it is just adding up all the words, right? So if I'm using end, see here, end, what is the syntax I've used here? End is a syntax wherein I'll be removing all that and calling it as with a simple verse. right? Without any integer, without any strings, all being defined. So that is one more property of the list. Coming to
Just a
modify.
question.
Yes.
If I have to say like in a simple English, so when you say I is nothing but it's denoting the loop, correct?
Small I.
It's denoting, yeah, small I is denoting the loop. Instead of writing LOOP, you're writing loop, comma, end meaning like just remove. In this case, it's like and remove the
All the
quotations.
notations, quotation, notations,
Quotations,
and
yeah.
all that.
Yeah, end it, which means like
End
just
it.
end it,
You
which
just
means
end it.
remove it and then you write it. Is there anything like, say I don't want to add, can I add something else instead of end? Like if I have to say like, I just need to interchange maybe like one baby text, I just need to interchange the
You want to
variables.
slice it. You want to slice it. That is nothing but slicing.
Okay, but I just want
And
to change the places of the list you have given here. Is it possible to do that?
yes, we can do that. In case of slicing, we can do it. Like you have to give the index number in the left and right side of colons. Telling that you have to slice it. You have to extract that item from the list. That is
Okay,
a
so what
small
is
range.
it? Will it still be I, comma, and then anything else in the place of end?
It will not come under loop. Your slicing
Okay.
is different from the loop.
Okay, yeah, okay, that's good. All right.
Okay,
Loop is
you'll be
basically
giving.
creating a range. That's it.
Yes, you are creating a range. Or you
Okay.
can just give it as with the index number also, you can define it as I with a bracket 1 to whatever the index number you want to extract. You can range it. It will give the output from the index number, whatever you are defined to the last index number.
Okay, I think I'm not following that.
Okay. I'll be explaining it once we go in detail. This is only the introduction what we are learning right now to
Okay,
understand
cool.
the terminologies of
Yeah,
what is required to for the next chapter. Okay, in the
perfect.
next chapters you will be understanding more in depth of it.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Okay, fine. Okay, good. Fine. That was a good interaction once again by the student. And now we'll go with the modifying a value from list. Okay, how to modify and why to modify. Suppose I say that it's not possible. I want to make some changes in names and all that. So I want to make some modification. How it is possible to make modification in the case of list? Yes, it is possible by using a keyword. What is keyword I'll be using for that? You'll be modifying as what? As what you can be modifying as a new value. You have to introduce as a new value. If we need to modify a value in a list, just refer the index element and give a new value. Now, for example, that is what new index element, right? What is the index element you have and what is the new value you want to give it for it. For example, print A. Okay, I've given print A. This is a print of A, whatever we have defined the variable A. Then A2 is what? A is what? The variable. What is 2? It is 2 is nothing but the index number of the list. And I'm asking for to introduce modified. Modify. What was 2? What was 2 here? 2 is the not the index number. It was the item name. It was the item name in the list. So in place of 2, I have to replace it as modified. I have to replace it by a modified. So once I give a modify, I say 1 text. In place of 2, what I get? I get a modified. I'll get it as a modified. This is how you have to define. So if I say A in place of apple, I can take this apple and put it here. It will go in place of apple and write it as modify. This is how I can make changes. Modify the values in the list. So the value in the list can be modified by using the syntax as A within the brackets and telling the value, what is the value you want to modify and what is the new value you want to modify. This is a modification what you can bring about in case of list. Now that is appending, that is modifying. Now we'll come into remove
I have a
element.
quick question, sorry. So
Yes.
just so in place of index, you don't give the number. So for example, Apple is third index, right? Because 0 is
Huh.
1,
Hmm.
text is 2, and 2 is 3, and then Apple is 0,
0, 1, 2,
1,
3.
2,
3 is
3.
apple.
Apple is 3. Yeah. So
You
instead
have
of
to give the
should I give 3 or should I put it as Apple?
apple. You want to
Okay.
modify it. So you have to give it
Okay.
as an apple.
Okay, clear.
Okay. Next. No, actually, sorry. I'll get back to you. Sorry. It is not apple. You should give the index number. You have to give
Yeah,
the
that is
index number.
3. That is
Yes,
3,
within
correct?
3.
Okay.
Yes, correct. You
Yeah,
should give it
okay.
as an
That is
index number.
because yeah, okay, because index is generally 1, 2, 3. So I just wanted to double check
Yes.
with you if it's going to be
Yes.
text
Yes,
or if it's
and
going to be
that index number will be represented in a bracket, square bracket. So anything
yeah.
which is represented in the square bracket will illustrate it as a index number.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Okay.
Okay. Index of the list. That is what is
Yes,
in the square.
index of the list. Correct.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Now coming to the next, remove element from a list. Now, as I say, you may come across, I want to send some names to be removed or some names to be deleted. How it could be done? There are two syntax types what we use generally. That is del. Del is common abbreviation delete, and pop is one more syntax word what we use it for removal of the values from a list. Okay, you delete, we usually go with the index value, and pop we go with the value of the index only. Okay, remove will say that just you can remove as it is. Okay, so these are the syntax what we use, sorry, keywords what we use. And coming into the syntax, you please be careful here. I'm telling you object dot pop index. So I'm defining index here. When I'm telling pop, I'm defining as a index. Okay. When I'm defining as a remove the value. The syntax will change accordingly as you write the keywords for the syntax. So let us understand with an example here. Now, see here with an example. If I say del A 0. So 0 is what? 0 is what was the a variable a value? What was the a value variable? What was the first one? It was
0
1.
Yeah.
Yeah, 0 is 1. It was, this was the a value, a variable value, right? In which 1 is taken place by 0 is taken place by 1. So here, so when I ask del a 0 to remove, so and then printed 1 is gone here. So it has been removed absolutely. Okay. Then if I say a dot pop with the parenthesis, which it means that it removes the last syntax index. It removes only the last index. I tell you again and again, this hash will not be read as a code. It is only for our understanding. This will be retained. So it will remove, I'm not defining anything. I'm just asking, I'm not asking it to print. Did I give any print statement? Since I didn't ask to give any print statement, it is not giving. For example, if I say a dot pop 3, so it will just simply remove the third index number as baby.
Yeah.
Okay. Then after all that, you ask for print a, what it will be printing. what it will be printing? It will be printing as whatever we are asked to remove. So last is removed, baby is removed. So finally I'm asking to print A. So I'm getting the new list of A. This is the new list of A.
Sorry,
Okay?
I have a quick question again. So
Yes.
in the delete one, you took
Huh.
A, the variable, as
Huh.
one text to that was the that was the
Huh.
list you took, correct?
Yes.
And now after that, when you write a code of A pop either 3 index or last index, it will take the one which is very recent, that is after the deletion, correct? It will
Yes.
not take
Yes.
the previous one. It will not take
Uh-huh.
with the one. It will take the
Without
text
one.
one without.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. If I have
Ah.
to say, if I have to still, so I need to put the variable again and then
Ah.
write a pop code. Is it? Say if I need with the one
Yeah,
text.
then you have to again define a variable A.
Oh.
Once again, you have to write.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that is the thing in Python. You can define any number of variables at any point.
Okay.
And the
Okay.
latest variable, whatever you have defined, that will be taken, not the
Okay. Yeah,
earlier.
that is what. Yeah. Okay. Clear.
That is
Okay.
a so in Python it allows you to define any number of variables any times in between any line.
Okay. 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 Clear.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. 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 And now coming to the next. If I want to clear, there is one more possibility. Like also there is another method available with list object 3.x version. If you take and clear method is available. Okay, you can use a clear. This is one more syntax available to delete or remove or whatever you want to remove it, pop, you want to pop it. So what is the clear syntax can be used with different version of Python available. This is Rail in which we commonly use this type of version, right? When you demonstrate in the desktop, and this is associated with the syntax clear, the code clear is available, right? If I'm using, this is A, whatever the latest we got, this is A variable, whatever we have got latest, and with continuation, I'll take this as A, and I'll say clear A dot clear, right? I'm just without anything, it is asked to clear. Then I'm asking to print. What it is printing? It is cleared all the values. It is absolutely cleared all the values in the items.
Okay,
In the
pop,
items,
when
it
you
has,
put the same thing for pop, it'll remove the last one without any index. If you
huh,
say pop, and when it says clear, it'll just remove the
clear.
entire variable itself.
Yes, yes, correct, absolutely. So if I'm using a pop, it will remove the last one, last items, last index will be removed if I'm using a pop. And if with the index number, if it is given with a pop, it will particularly choose that particular index number. If I'm using clear without any index number defined, right, it will not, it will just clear every value in the item and give you a list without any values. Okay, that is how the syntax of removing, deleting, pop, clear works with the list. Okay, is that clear to you? Yes. Hello. Yeah. Now let us go with the merging of two different lists into one list. Merge two different lists. Merge means we understand combine together. It is very easy. Nothing like you have to do a rocket science. Very easily it can be done. And now if I say, for example, I define a variable x is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, within the big brackets. And y is equal to 5, 6, 7, 8 within the big brackets. Okay, and I'll say when I'm merging, what is the syntax I should use? I should use extend. Extend is the keyword to be used. Extend from what to what? extend x to y. That means you are merging. X to y are merging. So x dot extend y. So then you are asking x to print. So what it is doing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You may ask a question. Can I write y dot extend x? Absolutely. How it will appear then if I ask for print? So it will print 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4. It will be reverse. So this is the magic of merging two lists. So the keyword, the syntax you have to use is you have to object dot extend into the other list. See the syntax. Object extend another list. This is a content you have to, or the syntax you have to use when you are merging two different lists. Okay. Is
Can I
that
do
clear?
the reverse way? If I have to
Yes.
say y dot extend and the bracket, can I put x? Will it do like
Yes.
5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, or it'll still go with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
No,
7,
no,
8?
no. It will go with 5, 6, 7, 8 and 1, 2, 3, 4,
Okay, yeah,
followed
very
with
clear.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, because why? Because you're defining an object y, which will be extended into another list. So
Correct.
y
Yeah.
will be extend to x.
X.
You're
Yeah.
taking y. 5, 6, 7, 8 is y. You are
Yeah.
allowing this y to extend to 1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Very clear.
Yes, that is how the list behaves. So this is all about the list: append, remove, addition, modify. And then we learnt about appending, then variation, loop, range, giving, then what is the operations to be performed, right? And what is a string, what are the different types of data you have, and what is in general, what is syntax and all, what is a Python and all, where it is applicable, how it is different. And ideally is one of the best operator what since of now to as a beginner we have to go with the compilers, available compiler to start with. Otherwise ideally integrated development environmental learning is a suitable Python platform available. And these are the different operators we have. Totally 7 types of operators are very general. We use these: addition, minus, subtraction, and all that. And how to add, how to append, how to insert, all that we keep going with that. And then coming with the next is tuples.
I have a quick question. Sorry. So when you said IDLE, is it another compiler? Like your
Yes, it's a platform. Actually, it is a platform to work with Python widely. You can work on widely. Like some compilers, as I said, no, it has a limited configuration which will not allow some characters or the operations to perform because of configuration, limited configuration available. Ideally, is like it is having a wide configuration because of capacity to take up all the codes and analyze and interpret the results. So therefore, I get less number of errors with that. So ideally, we usually work it on the desktops. Okay, that is the most we available, and ideally is the most recommendable. And nowadays we have also that's video automation Python programming. That is the very different type of platform available. That is a little high end, very high end. That is even it is available for us to work.
Okay,
Yeah.
I just need so if I have to say, for instance, I have no background about these things, but if you have to take like if you have to explain it to me in simple way, like you mentioned Anaconda and then installing Jupyter, and then you mentioned programmers, you mentioned Colab. I'm not taking Colab into consideration because it's a very beginner thing, so I completely understand. How do this ID at least sit within programmers or Anaconda or Jupyter? Because like there are too many different things, I don't have a clarity of what is what. If you have to like explain it to me in a very very simple terms, say like you know, if you do
Yeah, it's
ideally
all like
program-
it's a Python platform only where you can work. If your like program is having number of codes, number of different syntax and very high-end syntax you use, which the compiler has to support is nothing but ideally will do it.
so ideally it's
Ideal.
an additional to your Anaconda and Jupyter's, is it?
Yes, yes, yes. I recommend that. And that is to the end actually when we to the simplest to start with programmers is fine to understand and to learn and to go abreast of learning. It is very, very good programmers.
Okay.
A little
Okay.
higher end we'll be learning Anaconda and Python. Like once you install Anaconda, you can download Jupyter. And in
Okay.
Jupyter, what is the best thing is Jupyter has a text file available.
Okay.
That is like you have some programs which is asking for the text files to run, so where
Okay.
you come across with the text files, so when you have to do that you have to have a Jupyter with you. That
Okay.
cannot be done with the programmers. The programmers will not
Okay.
give the answer, and it programmers will tell that your this command is not having a sufficient data files availability, so it will not
Okay.
run the program. So that
Okay.
is a little higher version, like since we are still at learning stage, we'll go a little high as and how the days goes. We'll be learning more about it. No worries.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Clear. Thank
yeah,
you.
fine. Thank you, thank you. And coming to next next topic is Python tuples. Tuples and list, they are sisters. Nothing like different. You don't find much different. Then why did they introduce as a tuple? You may ask a question like this. It goes like this. When I say, mm, for example, this okay. I'll say tuple is a collection of objects, but immutable, unchangeable. Why it is unchangeable? How it is different from list? In list, what we did, we performed so many things. We appended, we insert, we modified, we deleted, we pop, we appended. Then when clear, so many operations we perform the list. But in tuples, it is not possible. Tuple is very rigid. Tuple is also a group of values consisting like this. Like this only it is consisting. You can see here it is consisting like this. It's a variable I've defined within tuple. How do I identify it as a tuple? Because it is indicated with a small bracket, small parenthesis, and list is a square bracket. But it is immutable. It will not change. Array, I'm strong, I'm abundant, I'll not change, I'll remain like this. So we say that it is immutable. In tuple object, we will not able to do any set of write operations. That means we cannot append, we cannot delete, we cannot modify. Only read attributes are available in Python tuple objects. I can just read that. Okay, this is A is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, this is a tuple. That's all I can read. Nothing much. Accessing elements in a tuple is very, very difficult because it is not allowing to change. And then we can index it in the same manner as we can see with an example here. Like this, you find an example, small example. A is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. So I say A with the index as 0, it will read as 1. For I in range, I mane I in range. For I in A, this you should understand that I'm calling for a range. I'm calling for a range. And with a colon, then I'll ask for print I. So it will print 1, 2, 3, 4. It will print all the 4. So this is how it goes with a tuple. Tuple, the only thing you should keep in mind is nothing but it is a immutable parameter and it is represented by small brackets. It's only reading. You can read. It is nothing to do with. But indexing is allowed. As you find in list, the same type of list indexing is allowed. There's nothing much you can talk about the tuple except that telling that this is a syntax what we maintain, and this is immutable. Only two things we have to explain about Python tuples. Okay.
Does it change the way it represents the data? Like if you put a horizontal, does it change it to vertical view?
Range, if you give the
Yeah.
range.
Does it
Yeah,
change the
range.
representation of data? So I
Yes.
understand it's a range. So now you have mentioned the range 1, 2, 3, 4 is in the horizontal format. And when you put the range, earlier it was not vertical, but now when I apply tuple, it shows me vertical.
Yes, it is giving a vertical range. Range we define it in the vertical form and calling for
Okay.
vertical as print I. So it will execute 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, fine. Thank you. Now coming to the next, Python dictionary. So what is Python dictionary? It's all the same like list. It's very simple. It's the same behavior of list. Only thing is it should be represented by a flower bracket. Flower bracket has to be mentioned. Okay. So dictionary is also a collection of key value pair. If we access any value, we must use the specific key for it. So something like this, we'll take with an example and understand, and which will be represented with a flower bracket. Now, for example, D is equal to flower bracket. So then I'll ask for print. So whatever there is as D, whatever we are defined, it will print as it is. And also it is mutable. Now, for example, so I say dick. See, by symbol I'm indicating this is a dictionary. I'm not using the symbol, but I'm using the keyword. What is the keyword for the dictionary? Dict, right? D-I-C-T. So when I'm asking print X, it will automatically understand. The Python will understand. Oh, she is asking me to put it in a dictionary form. So I should use flower brackets. So this is how it goes with the learning of dictionary. For example, one more example we have here. Now, to understand, to create a static dictionary, we can use the following syntax. Let us understand syntax first. Key value. Key 1, value 1. Key 2, value 2. Okay. Now see here, dictionary. KY, KY, KY. I have used as dictionary K, V, KV and KV. Okay, this is in tuple, this is a string, and this is a list. Okay, dictionary key is equal to value, key 1 is equal to value 1, key 2 is equal to value 2. Also in dictionary function, we can pass an iterator with two index elements which acts as a key value pair of a dict object creation. So something like this, I'll take an example and let you know, explain it very well. For example, I define a variable. D is equal to key value. Key value. Keep in mind in every time dictionary has a key and a value. Right? Key and a value. So key and key is here, value is here. Key is here, value is here. Key is here and value is here. So again, I'll define X is equal to dictionary, KV, KV and an apple. Print D. It will print whatever we have given as a dictionary. Print X. Okay. But I should print X in the form of a dictionary. Why? Because I have already asked the keyword as dict. So it should print in the form of a key value. Though I have not put here. See here. See. So it is within the quotes. Within the flower brackets. Key value. Key value. Key value. You understood now what it is telling? It is passing an iterator to the toIndex, which says it is a key value pair. Now I have defined, I'll repeat once again. D is equal to key value KV, 1. You can see here it is representing a dictionary with key and a value. And when I'm writing X variable, I'm just putting as dict as a keyword. Okay, some brackets I'm using. Okay, I'm not following the syntax of key value. I've just added merge them. Then I'll ask for print D. It will. When I'm asking for print X, automatically see how it changes. It will listen. Automatically it will listen. KV, K1, V1, A, apple. Correct? So this is what it is telling, that all keys in the dictionary must be immutable. Data type keys. All keys in the dictionary must be immutable. If we pass a mutable object as a dictionary value, it will be raised as an error. So the key values are immutable. The key values will not change. Keep in mind what is key and what is value. The left hand will be key and the right hand will be value. So whenever you ask for a pass a value for key, it will not change. So that is the behavior of a dictionary. So for example, further we'll understand with the adding elements into a dictionary. For example here. Now I'll take small example here. Now I had the previous D value. Okay. Now D with a D to be added as a data, right? As a data. So in the D as a variable, this is the key and this is the value. Got it? I want to add it. So print D. So what is this printing? Key value it is printing. KV is printing. KY is printing. Whatever you have given to add, it is printed here as it is. It is printed as it is. For example, let us see one more. To the D variable, add T key value I'm defining. This is the value. I am asking print D. So what is happening? Key value is here. KV is here. K1, Y1, V1 is here. Then D data is here. And to the end again, key and value. T is a key and text is the value is here. So this is how it is showing that the dictionary is using the same indexing concept, except instead of index position, we use the respective keys to assess the particular values. So we don't use the indexing position. Instead, we use the keys where you have to key. So if I'm talking about what is the value of K, it will give me the answer as V. If I'm so key is the number format which I can use instead of the index numbers. For example, I can see here one more example. If I say that D with a 0, 0 represents index number, correct? Will raise key error since indexing won't work here. In dictionary will not allow the indexing. It will search for key 0 trace back, most recent call last. So it will say this number is indexing number is not available in dictionary. D with a 0. It because D I have defined in the form of a dictionary. I am asking 0, which is nothing but an index number. It is not allowing. So it will raise an error. So again, if I say print D, this is the D variable value of dictionary what I have. And then if I say D key, what is D key? Key is here, right? D key is here. So what is the value of it? Value. If I say DT is here. Key, this is key value. What is the text of that? What is the value of it? Text. It will print text. Now, for example, you should tell me now. DT. What D is what? D is what here? D is what here, students?
Test. D is D and
D
T,
is
right?
a key. What is the answer for it?
Test. Because T is test, right?
Now I've asked for one more next question. D.
D is key.
Data.
D is key.
Data.
And what is the value of it? Data.
Value.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's
yeah,
the
okay, yeah,
yeah.
data.
So data. So that is the how we recognize in list and dictionary. The difference is in list we have index number. Here we don't have index number. Rather we use keys to know the values of the keys, not by index number. Okay. And we can modify the values, but we cannot modify the keys. Keep in mind, students, keys cannot be modified. Now we understand what is a key and a value. So we can modify the values, but we cannot modify the keys. For example, this is a small example illustrating the same here. Like you have D is equal to print D. This is a print, okay, of D, dictionary D, and DK into a new value. So what is K here, students? K is this one, right? K is this one.
We.
It's a key, right? I'm asking to type it as new value. What was the old value it was having? It was having V. In place of V, you put it as new value. Now you print the D and C, it will print it as key, new, and you find the change here as new value. So it is mutable, but key is not mutable. Only the value is mutable. I can change the values. I can change the values. Got it? Yes or no?
Yeah, clear. For
Yes.
me, it is clear.
Yes. Only the values are mutable, not the keys. Okay? Fine. We'll go with the next. Deleting an entry from the dictionary. How it is possible to remove? We can either use a delete keyword or built-in methods to change in the Python dictionary objects. So we'll take a suitable example here to understand. For example, this is the example of dictionary KV, K1, V1, A, apple. Okay. So delete X. Delete X. What is K? X is what? Variable. X is equal to this is X. They are asking delete K. K value of K is what?
V.
Value of K is what?
V, correct? Is it
Yes.
V?
It is a value V. So V is the value here. So what is the answer I get here? Now finally what is the variable? X is equal to the total will be removed. This will be removed and I'll be left with only K1, V1, A, apple. How smart it is. You should touch them, touch the dictionary only with the key, not the value. Key are like they listen to they are the boss. Whatever the key will do, the value will listen. Okay. If you want to delete the key, automatically it will get deleted along with the value. It will not be changed. What is pop? What is pop doing? If I say
Removing.
x dot pop k1, so it will give only v1, right? What it is doing with print x? Therefore, I have removed both k1 and v1. I'll get only as apple, a and apple. Correct? See how smart it is working. It is working with delete. It is working with the pop. It is working with a pop also as a delete last item. It is asking for the delete last item, right? Pop item to delete. So these are the syntax what we can use to modify the dictionary. But only thing you should keep in mind is you should not use key index numbers. You should use keys to operate or modify the dictionary. Okay. Now the same syntax we can use like pop, clear, delete. These are the syntax what you can use. And similarly, you can use clear, which will remove the all entities in the dictionary. Something like that you find in case of a string, sorry, list. If I say print X, this is the X what we have defined earlier, and I say clear, it will clear everything. It will clear everything, isn't it? It will clear all and it will give the flower brackets. It will not change. Now, if I am only talking about deleting and removing, adding and all that, if I say want something to be copied, how I can do it? If I want something to be copied, how can I do it? So now I define a new variable and with the key and values. Okay. So I'll take it as print id d. Okay, print id d, print d. That is nothing but when I say print d, it will print whatever it is. Now, if I'm saying print id d, so what is that id and d is doing here? It is 610963220. Anything it is printing as, I'll tell you what it is shortly. Now, for example, x is equal to d dot copy. Okay, I'm defining x as a new variable because I want to copy and save it in some variable. Okay, I want to put it in an x variable. So I want d. This is what I've defined d as, and copy. Then print x. So I've got the answer. This is the answer. Whatever the d was defined here, d was defined here, right? The same thing is being told in the code also. Now print idx. How it will change? What is the change you can bring up? So print id d. I'm telling it as 610963220. Now print idx. It has changed to 65646480. So I'm defining a new ID for it, telling it as the print IDX. Similarly, for use a dictionary of set of keys with the defaults with forms of keys A, E, I, O, U. A is a none because I have defined a dictionary in the start. These are the key values from keys A, E, I, O, U. I don't have the values. I don't have the values. So what I'll put it as, what it will be taken? It will taken as none. It will be taken as none, right? Because I don't have anything. So when I don't have anything in compiler in the Python, what happens when you don't have any value? It will print it as none. By default, it will print it as none. In the second example, you can see here. If I say it as from monkeys AEIO default. Instead of none, you put it as default, right? You will get it as key value, key value, key value. Value is defined as default, but in the earlier cases, I have not defined what is the value. So it has taken by default. The Python itself, it is built in none. When the answer is not existing, it will take its own as none. Okay, and
I have
when
a
you get
question.
with the
Sorry, I
use
just have
get
a question.
is a new keyword what we'll be using as get, used to fetch the value of key of dictionary. If key is not available, does nothing or pass the value into the function. For example, it get means get something, you get something. Okay, d is the variable what I have defined. Okay, get k. What is k here? What is k here? K is the new value, new keyword, right? The new value is the value of it. Something like get x. If I'm asking x, nothing it will be shown. It will not be shown anything. Why? Because x is where it is. X is not existing anywhere as anything. So it will not show anything. So I should ask get x as default. So it will put it as just answer as execute the answer as default. Nothing it has to do it. Similarly, if I say K is existing here. Yes, it is existing, but it is existing with a value with this, sorry, with a new value it is existing. K is existing new value, but D get K default, whatever the value it is having K as, it will print the default value, whatever the default value you have defined here, it will print. But in X case, it is not defined. We don't have any X key value, right? So it will print as default. If it is existing, it will print the value, whatever the you are given for the keyword. So it will not change. So this is how it behaves with the what? With the dictionary. So many modifications you can bring up. Similarly, if
I
I
have a
say,
question, ma'am. Sorry. Before we move on to, I just have a quick question. For the former from keys, if you go on a little bit on top, there is a from keys.
from
If you go
keys,
on top, yeah, from keys. So you have defined it in both list and tuple. Is it mandatory for us to do that, or we can just use either list or tuple? So you have both the brackets in place. If you check from
for
keys.
example, here I
If you go on
defined
from,
D.
not this one, from keys. So if you go a little more on top.
From keys.
Yeah, and yeah, this one from keys. So dictionary from keys, you have both the brackets. So I'm just trying to understand for us to get dictionary values, is it so from keys?
See here, I've used this dictionary, the syntax.
Yeah, but in the from keys, you use both the brackets. So that is
In
what
the
I
both
want.
the brackets here it is, but ultimately finally it will take as a dictionary only.
Okay, if I have to just, if I use one bracket also, it will take in, right? If I just say use the list bracket, the square bracket alone.
Yes, if you change also you can try doing that, no problem. If you change instead of a dictionary bracket, if you change it as a square bracket, you can see the changes. It will put it as in a list form.
No, the
but
other
here
one,
the
syntax
you are using as a key.
Yeah, from keys, I have two different brackets, correct? The AEIOU
Yes.
is different bracket. So is it mandatory for me to use those two brackets is what I'm asking.
No, not mandatory, not mandatory. Like why so? Because see, you can try it. Sometimes it takes, sometimes it gives an error also. Okay, it depends upon the compiler. So when I'm using from keys, always we should go with a parenthesis. Okay, with a parenthesis should be available, and I'm defining a list here, which is in the form of AEO. It is a list. I'm asking that list to be in the dictionary form.
Okay, I get it now.
So I'll say that AEIOU it will take, but in that dictionary I'm telling from keys. I'm using from keys. So it is taking that itself as key, but values are not existing. So what happens? It will give the answer as none.
Okay, I just wanted
But
to
in
know
the
if
second
list
case,
is okay. Go
in the
on.
second case, I would said dictionary from keys. I explained AEIOU within the codes, and within the codes, I'm telling that it should be default. So you use in place of none, it will be taken as default. It will be put in a default.
Yeah, that is very clear. I just wanted to understand if that bracket is important. The list bracket you have put on.
Yes, because I'm defining the list. You can try doing without bracket also. Sometimes it will take it as a tuple. But in tuple, what happens? It is not mutable.
Okay, I get it. Okay.
Yes. Got it? Yes. Fine.
Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Most welcome. Okay. Now we were here doing Python sets. Okay. Okay, I'll with this, I think I can end the class. Is that okay with you all? I was here. Then for the set default, then yes. Next, I have to start with the Python sets. And we can update. Yeah, there are two more things to let. I'll complete it quickly. No problem.
Lata, but when do we actually start with the command prompt and try to execute all that examples that you showed us today?
Uh-huh.
When do we
Please.
when would you do that? Or
Execution of the program
Yeah.
running?
yeah,
Okay, fine. In maybe in another 2 classes?
okay.
Yeah,
Mhm.
fine. Hmm.
Okay. No, another 2 classes, maybe by then we would have already forgotten all that examples that you showed us, because
No.
then it would be
These
too much of
examples
theory for us,
again.
right?
Ha. No. I'll pick the same examples and do it once again so that it becomes a revision to you also. No worries.
Okay.
No
Okay.
worries.
Okay.
Yeah. And so this was here I was explaining with a get and get the value, and hope you understood here. If X is not existing as a key, it will go as a default. If K is existing, whatever the K has a key value, it will take it as a new value. Okay. Then further coming down, it is very neatly, very well, it has been explained here as items. Like return all key value pairs of a dictionary as an object as an iterator. Okay, let us understand what this item does. Okay, you can see here with an example, print D. So this is by default whatever the variable D is being defined, and I'm asking D dot item within the brackets. See the parenthesis what I've used for it. So I'll get the answer as dictionary items within the brackets, right? Key value, K1 V1 D data T test. See how beautifully this item is doing. It is just taking away the key value separately. For me to read, it is very easily and I can understand. But sometimes what happens, it becomes a mess for somebody. And how to represent, it will represent within the parentheses, the key values. That is the uniqueness of key values using the keyword as item. In item, what happens? Everything will be put in a bracket. Everything will be put in a bracket. So that is the items. Return all the key values pair of a dictionary as an iterator. So that is the property of a item. Coming to keys. Next is keys. Is used to return all the keys of a dictionary object as an iterator. What does it do? If I say, for example, I'll take the same example and print D and ask for D keys. So what are the keys of it? It will execute all the dictionary keys. It will execute all the dictionary keys, but not in flower bracket, but it is with the dictionary. It is with the dictionary, right? As a keyword, it will execute in this way. Keys, K, what are the keys? Key, K, K1, D, T is a dictionary. And when I say set default, if it is set default, next thing is set default. What is a set default? What is to be used? To fetch the value of specified key if the key is not available as a set default or a none, what we have seen in the earlier example. Now, if I say as key value, k, whatever the d variable we have given, d set value, set fault, set default. So of x, what is x? Is that existing? It is existing anywhere. X is existing. So it is not existing. So what it will be giving the answer as print D key value, k value, everything will be given along with the new value set. It is asking to set as a default. Key, it is, we are defining the key x with a none value. You are not defining the value of key. So it is taken as none. So it will be executed as none. So key will be taken as x because you are defining as x here, for which the value will be defined as none. There is one more example wherein you are defining the value. For example here. So set default x1 value, right? So I'm executing same thing. I'll say x none, x1 value 1. So I've defined the value of it, x1 value. So you can see the dictionary is mutable. It is mutable, but it cannot be indexed. It cannot be indexed, right? Now, one more type of or changes could be make up with the update. Update is nothing but adding up. Update is nothing but adding up. Something like this. Now, you have the print. You have the dictionary. Something like this. It is being defined here. Now, I want the print D, print X used to update the dictionary recorded or merging two dictionaries. Now, print X is this, print D is this. Now, you update. Now, you update means it will just merge two dictionaries. It will merge two dictionaries. So, how do I write? If I write it as D dot update X. So, D means first value, that is D dictionary is being updated to X. It means D update X means D is updated. D is updated to X. You see how it forms? How it forms? It will keep on adding up whatever it is being given here. It is being updated. So key D dot update X. So what is print D? You will get it as, what the print D, you will get it as key updated. See here, key updated, K new value, K1 V1, D data, T text, X null, X value. Then you find A new, B baby. Got it? Got it? You have been updated. It has been updated. You have been adding up, right? So you find this key value is overwritten by key updated, and the remaining two key values and key pair will be taken in the end. It is taken in the end. Note that in the above dictionary, D, the new values will be added and the existing value in the D will be updated with the new dictionary values used to fetch all the values of existing values. So that is the update of the update used as a keyword when you have to merge the dictionaries, right? And next you find as a Python set. This I'll be taking up tomorrow. Okay. Anything else? I can end up the class today.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. This is super helpful. It was really good as a first session. May I ask you to share this PDF with us?
Yes,
so that
definitely.
we can, yeah.
Definitely,
Okay.
definitely.
Okay,
Definitely.
thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Okay.